Donald Trump is panicking at the moment. This failure in Iran is getting exposed every single day. Now they are saying that the cost of firing those rockets, those Tomahawk cruise missiles that killed 170 Iranian children, they cost United States for now at least $25 billion. The reason I say for now is because the cost is and will go more and more up and up. Donald Trump is panicking. His Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, doesn't know how to answer questions of these congressmen, those senators who are grilling him. But one thing we know for sure, even though he doesn't know the answer, we know that he is lying, he's lying, and he's lying. But guys, I have some very interesting news today that will expose all of his lies. Before I move on and share all the details, just to remind you, if you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing, hit the like, leave a comment, share this video because it helps with YouTube censorship that I'm going through at the moment. Now, I want you to focus on this particular news first, and then we can move on to some other very interesting topic. Take a listen.
Iran into the combative hearing on Capitol Hill today. Secretary Pete Hegseth fielding questions, and the Pentagon now revealing that the war has now cost the U.S. $25 billion and counting, with gas prices here in the U.S. hitting a new high tonight since this war began. Here's Martha Raddatz.
Tonight, with an eye-popping $25 billion price tag for the Iran war, the Strait of Hormuz blocked and no end in sight, Secretary Pete Hegseth not backing down on Capitol Hill, instead pointing the finger at Congress.
The biggest challenge, the biggest adversary we face at this point are the reckless, feckless, and defeatist words of congressional Democrats and some Republicans.
The secretary, combative, defensive, and dismissive.
The president.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter if he's combative, defensive, aggressive. Doesn't really matter. What matters is the oil price for the American people, and also the war crimes he committed, of course. The genocide that Donald Trump wanted to commit in Iran when he said an entire civilization will be destroyed tonight. Now, this $25 billion, guys, is not for the damaged equipments. If you add those numbers to repair, to rebuild the United States military in the Middle East, it will be at least, according to some estimation, $40 to $50 billion. And the worst part of it is that it was not done to protect America. It was not because Iran will have a nuclear weapon and that United States will face existential threat. No, none of those things. Even though that's exactly what Donald Trump wants you to believe, but this is not true. The reason they're spending this money, this whopping 50 billion and plus and more, maybe perhaps trillions, who knows, is to protect the Zionist state of Israel.
Has got himself and America stuck in the quagmire of another war in the Middle East.
Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in.
Claiming a tactical victory.
It's been an astounding military success.
No, but are we winning the war?
Absolutely.
But pressed about the justification for war?
Their nuclear facilities have been obliterated. Underground, they're buried, and we're watching them 24/7.
We had to start this war, you just said, 60 days ago, because the nuclear weapon was an imminent threat. Now you're saying that it was completely obliterated?
They had not given up their nuclear ambitions.
The grilling on Capitol Hill comes tonight as gas prices hit a new high. With the Strait of Hormuz closed, drivers now paying $4.26 per gallon, up $1.32 since the war began.
Do you know how much it will cost Americans in terms of their increased cost in gas and food over the next year because of the Iran war?
I would simply ask you what the cost is of an Iranian nuclear bomb.
Overnight, President Trump posting Iran better get smart soon.
Now they have to cry uncle. That's all they have to do, just say, we give up.
But David, we are now in week 9 of this war. Gas prices are soaring. The Pentagon wants more money, and the Iranians have given no indication they are ready to give up. David?
Of course, they are not going to give up anything. Iran is going to fight to the last man alive. And all of this rhetoric, those stories they're telling us, Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump and Marco Rubio occasionally, about winning this war in Iran. No, you're not winning it. You are looking for an off-ramp. It is very obvious when you force Iranian government to negotiate with you, it looks on you very, very miserable. And this is what you are. You're weak, you are defeated, you're miserable. That's why you're begging a country for a ceasefire, for a negotiation. A country that has won a war would never act or behave like this. Hey, come, please negotiate with us. How many times Donald Trump said he wants to negotiate? And he's threatening Iran for not negotiating. Come on, for goodness sake. This guy is lying and he's getting caught. And now we have another comment from Robert Pape, who says that Iran will have nukes. And that's exactly what they're fighting for, right, Donald Trump? No, they were fighting for Israel. But now, to make things worse for Israel, the Zionist fake state of Israel, Iran is going to have a nuclear weapon. Take a listen.
Negotiations on the nuclear material, that's what was being discussed. What Iran is simply saying is that's off the table now. They're just not interested in that. Now, they're not saying at all when that will come back. So what that tells me is Iran is not giving up this power of the Strait of Hormuz anytime soon, and Iran is probably starting to lay the groundwork for developing nuclear weapons.
You have heard it right, and I totally agree with him, with the professor, Robert Pape from Chicago University. He is 100% on point. Iran is already working on getting a nuclear weapon on their own. They're not going to borrow one from Pakistan or North Korea or even Russia or China. They have the know-how. It's that easy for them now. And they're going to build one. What Israel can do, they will nuke Iran before they have one? I don't think so. The Zionist fake state of Israel, this bunch of thieves and thugs, they don't know how to use nuclear weapon. But at the same time, we have to admit, they are very, very dangerous. These are all scum bags, low of the lowest of the lowest, really. Take a listen.
Over the next maybe year or so. And that would also dovetail with why they're talking with Pakistan, a nuclear weapons state that helped Iran with centrifuges to start its program in the first place, and also Russia, another nuclear weapons state that's been a military ally of Iran. So if Iran is going to pursue this very aggressive agenda to truly emerge as the fourth center of world power with nuclear weapons, it needs allies, and it looks like it's working with its allies, and it's certainly working with its allies better than we're working with ours.
Well, I think what Iran
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. They have good friendship. They trust each other. They do not deceive. They do not strike while they're in negotiation with another country. They respect other countries. They respect other countries' sovereignty. They are not like Zionist state of Israel or Trump administration. See you next one. Subscribe.